Hey, what's up, iCkEdMeL? Welcome to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. And last night we spoke about Charles Beltran and Lisa and Marisela and Nina and the new charges that Nina and Lisa got, which was tampering with or fabricating physical evidence, which is kind of interesting. And the fact that they didn't put that on Charles. Now, Charles, when he was arrested in Utah, he started talking to police. And I guess this is where the story comes from last night that we were talking about. Now, if you're new to the story, I made a reference video with the characters and the timeline and everything. It's called Marisela Botello Timeline. You can go check that out first. I'll put the link down below. Now, what we're here to talk about today and what I'm going to show you is these really interesting documents that you have not seen before. It's with regards to Charles Beltran and Nina and some of the weird stuff that kind of happened a little bit before, and a lot of that happened right after Marisela, October 5th, the things that happened to her and that were done to her, which were horrible. Last night I mentioned some things like the child support situation where all of a sudden, because he hasn't been paying child support, it was backed up out of nowhere, $7,000 after Marisela passes in increments of $1,000 starts coming into the account for child support, because he has a daughter. I think he has other kids too, at least another child, but he has a daughter. And so that's weird. I'm going to show you that document so you can see that. And then a couple of things too, where Nina was sending legal documentation to the mother of his child, attempting to get full custody, which is very, very, very weird. I mean, I hear that they were putting a lot of pressure on this mother. They wanted to get full custody. It was mostly Nina and Lisa. Charles, from what I heard, he disappeared in November. He kind of disappeared from these women. That's what I heard. So I don't know what their plan was to get full custody of this child. And so I'm going to show you the documents. I'm going to read them to you. I'm going to do my best to try to get them into some sort of chronological order. It's about 5, 6, 7. I think it's 7 documents. And it's interesting. And so you guys tell me your thoughts, comment down below. So I think it's best to start with this document first, okay? And so this was in the Travis County, state of Texas, motion for admission to pro hack vice. Now, when I looked it up on Google, it says pro hack vice is a legal term for adding an attorney to a case in a jurisdiction in which he or she is not licensed to practice in, because as far as I'm aware, she was able to practice in New York and Florida, if that's correct off the top of my head. And so this was kind of setting things in motion, it seems like, for her to do what she needed to do to try to get full custody for Charles, which she was representing him. And so Charles Anthony Beltran, I made the redactions. Please don't go after any of these people, like the family, like the mother or anything like that. Just, please don't do that. But so it says here, comes now Anwar Esquire and moves this agency to grant non-resident attorney Nina admission to the State Bar of Texas pro hack vice to represent Charles Anthony Beltran in this case, and would respectfully show the agency as follows. Movant is practicing attorney admitted to the bar of the state of Texas in good standing since November 1st, 2013. The movant finds applicant to be a reputable attorney and recommends that applicant be granted permission to participate in the instant proceeding before the court. The movant will be associated with applicant in the proceeding of the instant case. Wherefore, applicant prays this court enter an order permitting the admission of Nina to the bar of the state of Texas pro hack vice for this case only. That's pretty wild. Montgomery Law, PLLC, Texas, which, that's very interesting, that Montgomery thing. I might have to do a little research. I think that's one of the places where Lisa used to work. I really thought, I'll have to double check, but it's really interesting. There's a lot of, with this case, there's a lot of synchronicities, and that's one of those things. And so this was certificate of service. I hereby certify that on the 25th of September 2020, I have served a true and correct copy of this motion upon following. Custodial parent. So this is where, to me, from what I'm perceiving, I'm not a legal expert or anything like that, they're giving her rights to practice in Texas and to represent Charles And you're going to see some more documents where they start to go for full custody. And yes, Nina did work at Montgomery, not only because of her Facebook, but I spoke to several people about that whole situation. There's so much information about this that, but I knew Montgomery and Lisa, that was a thing. And to me, that's just something that kind of sticks out. It's interesting. A lot of coercion. I'm not saying by that company particularly. I don't know if they knew what was going on, but the more and more links and ties, you can see how some of this seems very planned. Now, let me show you this next document, and then we're going to go to the child support, and there's more documents to show you. But this is the Empire Law Group, okay? If you've been watching the channel, I've been telling you guys about the Empire Law. This was made literally a couple of months after Nina's husband, Bill, passed. And so literally right after he passed, a couple of months later, Nina and Lisa make this Empire Law, okay? And that's why I feel like I need to drop that video too, for many reasons. We'll talk about that later. Also, if you notice the date, how insane is this, right? Look at this. October 7th, 2 days after Marisela. 2 days after. Like, it's to me, for them, it was like it was nothing, it seems like. And so it says here, Christmas visitation with Charles Beltran. Our offices represent Mr. Charles Beltran in the above matter. This letter is sent to notify you that Mr. Beltran will be exercising his visitation rights under the existing custody order for the upcoming Christmas holiday. Under the order given that the parties live more than 100 miles apart, Mr. Beltran is entitled to have the name from 6 p.m. on December 18th, 2020, the last day of school before Christmas break, through 12 noon on December 28th, 2020. As per order, Mr. Beltran will be at the McDonald's restaurant, Texas, for the exchange of possession on December 18, 2020, 6 p.m. Nina Marano. How insane is that? And if you guys have been following, and I've mentioned it so many times, the Davenport address, right? That's where the law office supposedly was practicing out of. Now, we're going to get into the child support document, and then I have some other documents to show you. It's some really weird stuff. Just to interject for a second, you know, I heard that he could have seen his child if he wanted to at any point. Supposedly that he didn't want full custody. So I'm not sure what exactly is going on here. You know, I also did hear that Nina wanted a child from the whole other situation, that she never was able to have a child because of the guy she was with, Bill, had a vasectomy, and we'll leave that for the next video. And I don't really know what the motive was. Also, with this child support thing, he didn't have that kind of money. He really didn't have that kind of money. So let me show you this right here. Okay, these are the child support documents, and so you can kind of understand. Attorney General of Texas, Child Support Division. This was the report, financial report as of 11/4/2020. Charles Beltran here at the top, and this is the balance right here, and the amount due, and it just keeps adding up. And the amount applied is where you have to pay attention to see where payments are made. And so this starts from September 2019, October, and then into 2020. So we're just going to keep scrolling down. This is page 5. So you just, yeah, page 5. And so here's what we need to focus on. So up until October 1st, $14,000 was owed. And then I'm not sure what the $300 transaction is, 10/22, but 10/26, $7,000 in increments of $1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you see the amount that's due starts to drop. 10/26/2020, the same month that they did what they did to Marisela. And so this is really interesting. This guy, from what I've heard, does not have this kind of money. At the same time, after the Marisela thing happened, I heard that Lisa, I believe it was Lisa, had his car for, I think I don't know if it was a couple of days or a couple of weeks. They eventually shipped that car, first of all, to Pennsylvania, and then from there was moved to New York. And so Charles didn't have much. This woman was paying for all his stuff. She was paying for his studio thing. She was paying for the place he was living in, paying for his music, all this stuff. To me, I believe he was just taking the ride. He was, like I said, somebody from multiple people that I spoke to who likes to party and do all this kind of stuff. He didn't have this kind of money. So this is just very strange and bizarre. And we're going to get into the whole documentation where they're literally trying to get full cut. Just imagine as a parent how you must feel. You got these women coming after you and you're not even sure what the situation is that's going on with the guy trying to claim full custody. And I really believe that had she let the child go with one of them for a little while or done the visitation thing or not fought back, it's possible they might have ran off with the child. I don't know what their plans were. It's possible that they might have ran off. And then I heard, so this happened in October. I heard that by November, supposedly, I don't know if he just stopped communicating with Lisa and Nina. This is kind of like the rumor aspect of things. But he had dipped and wasn't communicating with them. And I think eventually the case dropped, but they were going hard, especially Nina and Lisa. I mean, calling, sending letters, legal letters, seriously trying to get full custody. I don't know if these deposits were in an attempt to be like, hey, see, there's payments going now, so we should get some sort of visitation. Weird stuff. And so this is the last document. There's about 3 pages on this. And I'm going to kind of breeze through it. But this is for petition to modify the parent-child relationship. Petitioner Charles Anthony Beltran by undersigned counsel, and ask the court to change the current order as follows. Discovery in this case is intended to be conducted under level 2 of Rule 190 of the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure. This court has continuing exclusive jurisdiction of this case as a result of prior proceedings. The child, female, the parties entitled to notices, the mother. Let me get a little closer for you guys. Petitioner asks the court to change current order about the children entered on January 18, 2017 in the cause entitled Order in Suit Affecting the Parent-Child Relationship. Petitioner, the child's father, brings the case under Texas Family Code 156002 and 102001. Petitioner asks the court to change primary custody, and it has been more than 1 year since the custody order was entered by the court. Under Texas Family Code Chapter 156, changing the current order will be in the best interest of the child and the circumstances of the child. A conservator or other party affected by the current order have materially and substantially changed since the court made the current order. Petitioner asks the court to change conservatorship custody as follows. Father should be the sole managing conservator of the child. Father should have exclusive right to designate the primary residence of the child anywhere without geographic restriction. That's crazy. So not only do you want full custody, and you have the exclusive right to designate the primary residence of the child anywhere without geographic restriction, it kind of almost goes back to like, was there a plan to leave? Was there, I don't know, were they going to try to use this against them too, the 2 ladies? Was this going to be a way of like, you owe us, or do what we say, or I don't know. And I'm not saying he's innocent or anything like that. But this is also important to kind of show, because I think some people are looking at some of these ladies like, well, what could they have done? Or, oh, poor ladies, this guy must have like forced them to do whatever. And that's really not the case at all. Petitioner asked the court to order that he have the exclusive right to apply for and renew passports for the child. Under Texas Family Code Chapter 153, Subchapter F, petitioner asked the court to grant the mother standard visitation. So he's trying, they're trying to flip it completely to where I have full custody, you're visiting, no geographic restrictions, and you get to see your daughter once in a while. prohibiting the mother from taking the child out of the state of Texas. As a petitioner is concerned that there is a risk that the mother may take the child out of state and refuse to return her, which she's still in Texas. Petitioner asked the court to change the current child support by ordering the mother to pay child support to the petitioner. Wow. Now, I'm going to breeze through these next ones because it's just the petitioner asking her pretty much to pay for everything, the insurance, medical support, and dental and Medicaid, even though Medicaid's not a cost, but they say that private health insurance is not available to father and mother at a reasonable cost. And these are just some other, dental, Medicaid. Upon information and belief, there's no significant change to the child's property, no protective order against the petitioner. The petitioner believes the child or petitioner will be harassed or harmed or injured if required to give respondent the following information for petitioner and the children: home address, home phone number, mailing address, work phone number, social security, work address, identification. Let me read that again. Petitioner believes the child or petitioner will be harassed. That's such a lie there. They're putting all these claims in order to try to get custody. And as if Charles is going to be afraid that this mother is going to go and do all these things. And so they're saying here, if required to give respondent the following information for petitioner and the children: home address, home phone number. These are the basic things. Wherefore, petitioner asks that citation and notice be issued as required by law. Petitioner asks the court to make the orders he asked for in this petition and any other orders which he is entitled. Petitioner asks for general relief. And this is Nina. Nina's pretty much speaking for him and doing all these legal things to get custody. It says here, pro hac vice application pending. What in the world were these people planning to do? You guys comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, my mind is just kind of racing with different thoughts and everything. I don't even know what to say. I definitely don't believe that like Charles was somehow the person in control of things and like telling these women what to do. I think it was actually the opposite. I think that these women were very much in control. At the same time, I'm just putting this out to paint the picture and some of the things that were going on. I'm not saying he's innocent at all, because there's so many things too. Like, why didn't he just call the police? Why did he just leave? Even if he was afraid, why go on the run? Why on Instagram, like, mock the police? Like, why was it all for show? Was it just, I don't understand, why do all that? And Nina's out. Nina bonded out, and I really believe that she may have used the money from Bill. She sold his houses, sold all the cars, and I think she might have had money left over from that situation. Or I don't know, maybe she used the property as collateral or something as collateral. Not entirely sure. But what I have upcoming tonight, we have a video night on Discord for members on YouTube. So I haven't figured out what we're going to do yet. The other thing is, I really now want to do the Bill video. That one is a little complicated. I had already started, but I'm already gonna push myself to do it after this. I'm gonna take a little break and do it, because I think it's important. Because I think some people are looking at some of these other, they just see Charles, maybe they see the tattoos and whatever else and his lifestyle, and see it as, oh well, these two little women here, just little, these little innocent women, and they're the ones that are being perpetrated, or they've been forced, and he must have been the one. And I don't know that that's entirely the case. You know what I'm saying? I don't think these are just innocent little women. And so we'll dig further into it. Please hit the like button, turn on the bell notifications if you like what I do. And thank you for the multiple people that have reached out to me and just trusted me with different things. And I finally got the green light for this documents and story. So take care of yourselves. Peace.